In my mind, I could just create it. I can paint, I can sculpt. I was just born an artist, and it's just a gift that the Lord gave me. Now, I'm here to talk to you about adversity and going through struggles or trials and tribulations. Now, I had a deadbeat dad. As a matter of fact, he's alive and I don't know where he's at. I really don't care to know where he's at. He's been locked up in prison for some stuff that he did that is just, to me, unthinkable. But growing up as a child, he was there, but he was really abusive. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He was really never there as a father to us. He constantly abused and beat my mom almost every day of my life. My childhood growing up was just watching my mom continuously getting beat, and him not being there, him always being high or on drugs, or, he just really was not a father. And I remember growing up, I would always wonder, like, why are we going through this? Why is my family going through this? And I would always tell myself, if I'm ever in a situation where I'm a parent or a father, I'm going to be the total opposite of him. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to beat women. I'm going to be respectful to my kids. And that's what I've done with my own son. I have a son, and I've lived out all of my childhood through my son. Everything that I missed out, all the PTA meetings, all the dads showing up at the schools and going to different events and just being there for their kids, I missed all of that. But I was able to live through that with my son, Jesse Raudales, Jesse Jr. And I'm here to tell you that don't let, not having a parent or not having a father or a deadbeat, stop you from pursuing your dreams and goals. Because my dad used to tell me, you're going to be, you're gay because you like art, or that's not a man's, job. And he would try to give me alcohol at like 7 years old, and I wouldn't drink it. And he would just slap me and say, you're not a man because you won't drink. And I know in the Latino culture, alcohol is like big, and it just like supposed to be like macho, or like you're a man when you start drinking alcohol, and which is false and just wrong. You shouldn't do that to children. That's another form of abuse. And like I said, I used to watch him, and there's a lot of kids out there that are going through the same thing, with either their dad's not around, or they have a deadbeat dad, or they have an abusive father that continuously beats on their mother. And I remember just growing up thinking, I'm going to be the total opposite of him. So he showed me everything of what not to do to be a father. So you want to talk about adversity, and you want to talk about overcoming obstacles. Well, I had a huge obstacle that I had to overcome that Mr. Taylor, or Chief, as we call him in Wilson, really was real supportive and helped me.
Being with Jesse over a period of time, I saw where his interest was. And knowing him and knowing what he was going through, it was my duty to help him.
It's what kind of like the role that I played out with my son when I was able to go to his school and do the same things for him. And just, I remember some of the same things Mr. Taylor would say to me, like, we all, when I was down, he would say, hold your head up high. Don't look down. Everyone puts on their clothes the same way, one leg first and then the other. Don't worry about it. You just keep walking, hold your head up high. You believe in yourself and feel proud and be proud of who you are, and pursue your dreams and your goals and pursue your gift. So he would always write me these little letters about believing in myself, and he would give them to me and say, you put that in your pocket, and when you're feeling bad, you pull it out and you read it. And it was always about positive affirmations and motivating, yourself when nobody else believes in you, but you believe in you.
So I helped him through school. He did very well there, even though he was in a masonry class. He did well. And I noticed how he could do with the pen. He could just sketch. And it was human. It was natural for him. He could draw your picture just like you're standing there. And it would be just like you. Well, as time progressed, we became closer. And I knew when he finished school that he didn't have the finances to go. So it was my duty to do what I could do to help him.
Once he got me to believe that I could go to art school on a scholarship and got me the scholarship, he told me, son, you got a week before you leave to college. I don't want you hanging out with your friends and going out and, because they get in trouble. A lot of things happen. Don't get in any trouble. You only got a week left, and, just stay in the house and relax and don't do anything. Let's just go out this one last time, and, we're not going to see you again probably, et cetera, et cetera. So I went out, and in going out, there was a fight that broke out at the skating ring, and then someone ended up getting killed or murdered later on that evening. But because of the friends that were in my car that I hung out with, one of them committed the crime. And so, the next thing I know, the police raided my mom's house. It was like about 3 or 4 in the morning. And, they grabbed me and they were saying that I was, that I was the one being held responsible for someone's death. And I found myself in a jail cell just a week before going to school. And Mr. Taylor worked at the jail, and he found out about it.
Retired from school system. I went right to the police department, and I worked in the office. And that's where I ran into a lot of stuff. And I knew by my working there that I could do something for him.
He came into the where they were holding me, and he asked me, he said, son, did you do this? And I said, no, I didn't. And he said, I believe you, because I don't lie to him. And he said, I believe you. And he stuck by me. The guy that actually committed the murder actually confessed. And once he confessed, they released the rest of us, because it wasn't just me. It was me and 2 other guys that were, being held at the jail. And I remember just thinking, like, wow, if I get out of this, I'm just going to, go, and I'm not coming back. I'm going to go to school and just do the right thing. And I should have just listened to Mr. Taylor.
And to my advantage, it did it. And it was my job there at the police department to serve subpoenas. And it was quite interesting, because I could serve it on folk that I knew, the kids that I didn't know. I had to help them because they had to go to court. So what I would do, the subpoena would come to me, and I would call them, the student, and let them know that there was a subpoena downtown for you. And I want to know what's going on.
That goes back to the law of attraction, right? He told me not to go out because something bad might happen, and hanging out with negative people is actually what happened. But I was blessed that the guy confessed, and I was able to get out of that situation. And Mr. Taylor just stuck by me. And I mean, he really stuck by me, because although it was about a day or two, it was about 48 hours that I was held. We were all held there until the guy confessed. My mom didn't believe me. She thought that I actually did it. She thought I was lying. He believed me. He believed in me, and he stuck by me. And, he's a special person. He's always going to hold a special place in my heart.